This is a video that explains how many beats per measure there are in compound meter. And just to remind you, a piece uses compound meter if the top number in the time signature is 6, 9, or 12. Again, that's 6, 9, or 12. So compound meter is a little bit weird and a little bit different. If the number is 6, 9, or 12, then this top number is not showing the number of tacti per measure. Instead, it's showing the number of divisions of the tacti per measure. And to get the number of the tacti per measure, you divide this number by 3, and that gives you the number of tacti per measure. This bottom number is not showing you what note value counts as the tactus. Instead, it's showing you the subdivision of the tactus. To figure out the duration of the tactus, you take this note value and you multiply it by 3. So here this is an eighth note, and so you do times 3 equals the duration of the tactus. I know it's weird, it's just one of those things you have to know. Okay, so let's take 6/8. Because it's 6, because that top number is 6, we know that this is compound meter. Therefore, the note that counts as a tactus is not an eighth note. Instead, it is an eighth note times 3, or 3/8 notes. So 3/8 notes, that is equal to a dotted quarter, because a dotted quarter is the same duration as 3/8 notes. So this is our tactus, dotted quarter, dotted quarter. And there are 2 of those dotted quarters every measure. Okay, and then this is our tactus layer. That's our tactus layer. And like in other time signatures, there is a larger beat every downbeat, or every first beat. So there's a larger beat every 2 of those tacti. And then finally, because we know that there are, because we know that the smaller node value is an 8, that means that this tactus divides into 3 subdivisions each beat, rather than 2 subdivisions, which is more typical. So again, we have the tactus layer, bum, bum. We have the subdivision layer, bum, 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 bum. And we have the downbeat, bum, bum, like so. Okay, so that is compound meter. Let's try the same thing now for 9/4. Suppose our time signature is 9/4. Well, because that top number is a 9, we know that this is compound meter. And to get the duration of the tactus, we take this value and multiply it by 3. That's a 4, in other words, a quarter note. And so that means a tactus is equal to 3 quarter notes, which is the same thing as a dotted half. So this is our tactus layer, dotted halves. Okay, and then with this top number, we take this number and divide by 3, and that equals the number of tacti per measure. So there are 3 of these dotted half notes every measure. Okay, and then as before, if this is our tactus layer, sorry, let me write that a little larger. Okay, if that is our tactus layer, then there is a larger pulse or a stronger beat every 3 of them, because that first beat in the measure is always relatively strong. Okay, and then this tactus, rather than subdividing into 2, subdivides into 3. Okay, that's how that translates into that dot diagram. All right. Now let's practice beaming in compound meter. I have here, let me write bar lines there. Bar lines here. I have here a rhythm in the 6/16 time signature, And suppose we have to rewrite this with correct beaming. Well, in compound time signature, you follow the same rule. Notes that make up one tactus should be beamed together. Notes that make up one tactus should be beamed together. So what is a tactus in 6/16? Well, again, because this top number is 6, it means it's one of those weird compound time signatures. So we're going to take this bottom number and multiply it by 3 to get the duration of the tactus. Okay? So the 16 means a 16th note, and so 3 16th notes all together equals a dotted eighth. Okay, so this is our tactus layer, dotted eighth and dotted eighth. And we'll take every kind of every set of notes that equals 3 16ths or a dotted eighth, and we'll just group them together to show that they're one beat. So these are 3 16th notes. That's going to be one tactus in duration. And then this is an eighth note and a 16th. Together, they're also equal to 3 16th notes, like that. So this is our first. These are the notes that make up the first tactus. These are the notes that make up the second. And so to rewrite this, we're going to beam these together and these together. Let me move this up, and I'll write that down here. These 3 16ths will be beamed together. That means I'll connect them all with a beam like that. And then this 8th and this 16th will be beamed together. So the way you do that is you have the 8th beam, and then you put a little 16th beam right there. That's an 8th and a 16th. And that is the correct beaming for this rhythm in 6/16. Yat-da-da-dum-bum. Have a great day. Bye-bye.